It's a structure years in the making, a new gateway to the West.
Like history is going to be here after I die, you know, way long after I die.
One generation's grand undertaking, built with muscle, sweat, and tears.
He was a very good dad, very good son, and he was a very good worker.
A tribute to a man who gave his best, and to countless men and women who represent America's best.
Stan Musial and vets together, there's nothing more Midwest.
Simply beautiful, strikingly complex.
We could sit back and we could reminisce on, hey, we put that together. We poured that concrete.
This is the making of the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge, a landmark of legend. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Over the next hour, we'll show you the highs and lows of the 4-year construction project to build this new bridge.
Building bridges over the Mississippi River is nothing new for those of us in St. Louis, but never before have we documented each step from beginning to end so closely. We begin with the people who know the bridge best, iron workers from Local 396, who captured their own memories. Greg Combs and his friends had a front row seat.
I kept thinking how lucky I was to be on that job.
At one of our city's most exciting events.
Being able to work on a landmark in your hometown is really something else.
On this day, they share a few photos.
What do you call them? Glamour shots?
Captured from their unique perspective.
Pretty much when you're building something, you remember setting almost every piece of it.
Photos freezing moments of tension.
You look at the numbers and it looks right on paper, but they were like 97, 98% capacity.
Suspense.
You had 167,000, I think that piece weighed, and you transferred it between 3 cranes in the air.
Or just hanging out.
I just got those two over there and they're talking. It's kind of neat seeing us, you know, not in any kind of pressure, just how we're just kind of hanging out on the iron.
Memories that will last a lifetime.
We had a family day down there, and I got to bring all my nieces and nephew up there with me. We all got us some pictures up there. That was really, you know, they kind of understood kind of what I did then.
A structure that will last for generations.
And you always catch yourself when you're walking out to your truck at the end of the day, you look back and look up, see what you did, you know, take a second and say, well, that was pretty neat.
The $700 million project started in 2010, right in the middle of the Mississippi River. But years before the bridge started to take shape over the river, there was work being done under the river. It's late in 2010, and workers are busy laying the bridge's foundation. Their first priority, building coffer dams around each of the bridge's 2 bases. The dams not only provide a place to work, but also give workers access to their unique job site. Greg Horn works for the Missouri Department of Transportation and is the project's director.
Right now we're at the bottom of the coffer dam. We're about 20 feet, 25 feet under the water. We're actually sitting on the floor of the Mississippi River.
Workers have drilled 6 shafts to support each tower. Tons of concrete, reinforced with tons of steel.
They're 100 feet long. These clumps of 3, each one of those 100 feet long weighs about 2 tons. So when they set this in place, it's pretty amazing. They lower that down. And they have, you don't see them here, but they have bands underneath that are all tied together every 1 foot.
Sheets of steel wedged down into the riverbed create a precarious workspace.
There's always going to be water in here. You can never get these perfectly sealed, but by raising up this working pad, they're able to work on something without being stuck in the water all day long.
Workers will spend months inside these coffer dams, constantly aware of the changing river levels and the risks they face.
So you're standing down there looking up, you can see the rust line when you're down there where the water is above your head.
And as the weeks wear on, the bridge's bases begin to take shape. Pouring concrete into the Missouri Tower seems like a never-ending process.
They started last night at 1 o'clock. They'll end today probably at 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. So it's a 14, 15-hour pour.
And the December weather is just another reminder that Mother Nature can be a help or hindrance. Engineer Randy Hitt is the project's assistant director.
Freezing rain and ice on the slippery barges makes it a little more hazardous, so a lot more caution has to be made to clean that off.
Despite the cold, workers inside the coffer dam are carrying out the task of creating an intricate form made of rebar.